America at the morning of 9/11 was not just traumatic because I was seeing innocent people in the buildings burning, but immediately the first fear in my mind was, what is going to happen to the people of Afghanistan? Of people that had already been suffering under 10 years of the Soviet war and then 10 years of civil war and Taliban. So that was the first thought that came to my mind on that morning. When I went to work, my coworker asked me, don't you think they deserve to die after what they did? Don't you think we should go there and kill them now? In a country that has the world's second highest maternal mortality rate and third highest infant mortality rate. 9/11 was the reason why, supposedly why the US invaded Afghanistan on October 7th of 2001. However, according to a study by a think tank called ICOS, 92% of Afghans in Helmand, where most of the fighting is going on, have no idea what 9/11 even is. The Afghan people had nothing to do with 9/11, yet they paid quite a heavy price for it. From kill teams collecting Afghan body parts, to the death of Afghan civilians, to the drone attacks on the poor people of Pakistan blowing up schools for children, to the 1 million dead in Iraq, and to 14-year-old Abir Qasim al-Janabi who was gang raped by US soldiers. I have to ask, did these people really have to be punished like this? Why did they pay the price for something they had nothing to do with? This country has been going on a path of increased rampant militarism. Since 9/11, $7.6 trillion have been spent on war and militarism in this country. While there's a war going on outside of this country, there's a war going on the working class people of this country. Our schools are being shut down. We don't have jobs. People are losing their homes. Do I have time to read some more incidents of civilians? Okay.
Thank you.
February 12, 2010 massacre in Gardays. Mohammed Dawood was a well-respected local police officer who had been trained by coalition forces. Dawood was the first person shot in the night raid. There was a night raid in Gardays. But he didn't die immediately. The special forces killed his brother, Saranwal Zahir, shortly after he shouted, "Don't shoot, we work for the government." They meant the Afghan government. Then 2 pregnant women were killed, and a teenage girl, Golalai, was mortally wounded. The girl, Golalai, and Dawood died about 2 hours after the raid began. So these are the stories of ordinary Afghans as this 10 years of US invasion and occupation in Afghanistan continues. I hope you can join with the Afghan people in our fight to stop these wars in our quest for peace and justice. Please check out afghansforpeace.org. Thank you for being here. I commend the American people here there. Stand with us in solidarity for peace and justice.
Don't go away yet, Fatima. Stay here. Fatima and I had quite a talk one night. We were emailing, but when we first got to know each other, emailing back and forth in the middle of the night. And by about, what time was it? About 3 o'clock, we finally said, why don't we just call each other? And we had a nice conversation on the phone, but she told me about an event that she's planning in September this month, and I wanted to say a few words about it.
Actually, we have 2 events being planned. The first one on September 24th is at UC Berkeley. It's called Learning to Stand Up, and it's focusing on peace, justice, civil rights against war, terrorism, and Islamophobia. It's an all-day training summit. It's free and open to all people. Please come and join us. We have panels on media justice, civil rights, anti-war, mainly focusing on the Muslim community because there's a lot of fear in the Muslim community caused by FBI repression, and we're trying to empower the people to know their rights so they can stand up for peace and justice without fear of FBI. That's the first event on September 24th, UC Berkeley. The second one on October 9th, we're working on mobilizing the Afghan community in Fremont, which is the biggest hub of the Afghan community in North America. So if anybody's interested in organizing that day of action, October 9th in Fremont, please contact Toby or myself. You can contact me at afghansforpeace.org. We would love to have solidarity from our American neighbors in organizing the day of action. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima. You really moved us, I'm sure, very deeply by your words. And our hearts are with the people of Afghanistan.